experienced players that we have here in this tournament, but I'm just looking for that. Who is going to be the top player? Here we have BernsteinCat versus NicoLaS in the first matchup. We're ready to go. Let's see what happens here.
Let's see what happens indeed. Of course, the players sitting on that 10 elixir to start. This is something that you would almost expect to see. I feel like a lot of these matches, playing that waiting game early on, who's going to flinch first when it comes to their play. Now, it is worth noting as well off the bat here, we are not given the decks of the players, so we're going to be learning along with you in terms of what they're playing. I think it's safe to say, at least so far, neither one playing a over-the-top aggressive elixir deck here.
Yeah, and also something that we've seen in previous tournaments, we're not entirely sure, are they all going to be playing at level 9 cards, or are we going to go like full upgrades, or are they going on their individual leveled cards? So that might have a little spice to it.
Yeah, we'll be level 9, as we could see with the King's Tower there, but I'm guessing, I don't know if there's an error. Are we literally just, are we playing the waiting game? We're playing the stalling game, apparently.
Probably is. We might see some tight action in the last seconds as well, but both players still waiting for the action coming in from either player, and who's going to make the first call?
Oh, you see kind of NicoLaS constantly looking up, just being like, all right, well, I'm down to play the chicken game with you. And are we just simply going to get to a point where we're going to have of course, a double elixir kicks in at 1 minute remaining.
Yeah.
And then after that, the minute. And then, of course, if depending on the tie situation, then it has to set in death for another 3 minutes, I believe. So that's when action really can pick up. But, well, this is a great first cast here.
Yeah, that is. And then we have the first unit heading right onto the board, and that's actually coming in from NicoLaS, and an instant response as well coming up. So on the left side, now the double elixir kicks in as well, and more units are going to get spawned. We've got the Prince coming in his way, we've got small dragons coming in, the baby dragons, so a little fight's going to take place on the left side.
Yeah, that's the Lava Hound that was played first over by NicoLaS. Oh, he has a clone, actually, so it's going to create a second Lava Hound, and it is destroyed quickly by the Snowball, but now you see that Golem making his way to the base of BernsteinCat, going to get some damage in, so either side certainly going to get some tower damage in here. I don't think either one's going to fall necessarily, but it looks like NicoLaS is able to get more pressure with this play currently. The flying machine from BernsteinCat is headed towards the right-hand side, though, so NicoLaS will have to address that sooner or later, although I suppose the tower will be able to take it out quickly.
It is, but good amount of damage already dealt by Bernstein right onto that left side. 1,400 health still, or 1,500 health still remaining on that side. But then again, another Golem on the field with another Prince heading down in 10 seconds up. I mean, we're probably going to be seeing a sudden death scenario here. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, great reaction from BernsteinCat to aggro off the Prince, because of course you see the Golem in front there to protect the Prince initially, but he played down the Lumberjack and a couple other bats, I believe. But the lightning coming out, and NicoLaS certainly getting that pressure in. BernsteinCat somehow having to hold off this onslaught here as the haste is put down for the Lumberjack, and it will be a victory for, it's actually BernsteinCat, excuse me. He was the one on the red side, while NicoLaS on the blue side. So BernsteinCat taking the first game here, this best of 3.
Yeah, that was actually pretty surprising that they spent like almost 1.5 minutes just waiting for who's going to make the first move, and just before the double elixir kicks in and gets the Golem. I think the Golem was like the really big piece of the puzzle there. Like the other one going for air units and just trying to divert and get past Bernstein's attackers, but they got really quickly countered as well.
Yeah, you can tell with the Golem, it didn't seem like NicoLaS in that case had the greatest answer to the Golem. Now, Golem is a very difficult unit to address, of course. Is the reason it cost 8 elixir in the first place, the fact that it then splits off into the 2. But he just really had trouble dealing with it. So now we're going to have to see NicoLaS in this case somehow find an answer to that Golem. But that Lava Hound's also, in its own right, can be a difficult unit to address. It's a 7 elixir cost unit that was played right there. But in fact, it's one that I've been testing with myself. I happened to pick it up recently, so I have a little more insight there, I guess, on it. The idea that it splits off into the I don't know what they're called, but the infernal birds of sorts that also deal damage after the fact. But again, still not enough tower pressure coming out there from
and those are like singular units instead of using big mass units there. We only saw like a couple skeletons trying to go on the defense, and also a small horde of dragons. But that was all we really saw, like just big units going on. Maybe we'll see the same thing happen again. Yeah.
Well, from my understanding now, I don't know 100% on this just yet, but what we're going to find out now, I'm sure, the victor, I believe, has to keep their same deck, if I'm not mistaken. So that prevents them from then just switching it up, with the other side.
Yeah, so you don't get like an unfair advantage of changing the deck.
It gives the opponent the chance to now respond, as you see a lot of these, type of strategy games. So I believe that's going to be the case. expect to see that golem, you know, and it seemed like he really had that strategy in mind. Like I noticed there with the Prince behind it. The Prince, the idea you want to charge him up, of course, to send him in and ideally get tower damage or perhaps a big unit to take out. But the golem's a nice protection, but we are jumping into game number 2 now.
Completely different start. Already going on the offensive on both sides, but the dragon already gets wiped out on the left side of the map, and a bit of damage onto Bernstein's right tower.
I'm actually looking at what Bernstein's running. So it's Electro Wizard and the Bandit. I'm still not 100% sure if that actually is the same deck or not, but as now the
feels like there might be a bit of a change there.
Yeah, so I suppose they are able to change. And again, we'll get clarification on that in between the games to absolutely make sure. But if that's the case, you know, definitely that's certainly almost an advantage for BernsteinCat. It feels like that he can now react himself.
Yeah. But like you mentioned, we're learning on the fly.
Yeah, exactly. All right, some more weight, but a much faster start this time around from both players.
Quick dive in with barrels on both sides. Barbarians quickly getting cut off. Not really getting any damage out, though. Still got 1.5 minutes to go.
Speaking of another big unit, that P.E.K.K.A. marching down for NicoLaS, and so is for BernsteinCat. It seems like they have the same idea.
Yeah, that's the classic Finnish Pekka-niska, like we like to say. It's a
But what is that?
Pekka is like a very, very common Finnish first name. So
okay.
Pekka-niska is like this one company that have like really big trucks and tractors, you know.
Yeah.
And he pretty much looks like a truck. In a sense.
In a sense, sure. But speaking of that truck rolling through for BernsteinCat right now. The Electro Wizard plays by BernsteinCat, having more advantage. Lightning comes down from NicoLaS to clear, and will be able to protect. And now here kicks in the ×2 elixir, of course. And we do have an idea of what both players are running now. So again, it is going to be different decks on either side.
There's another P.E.K.K.A. spawned. Blue side, maybe NicoLaS is able to get that all the way. Then again, it's a very slow lumbering unit. You've got 40 seconds time. Do they want to defend the P.E.K.K.A.? Do they want to cause an attack on the left side? I mean, it's just a right side heavy battle this time.
It seems like I'm noticing BernsteinCat's mirroring quite a bit. He plays the P.E.K.K.A. after, he plays the Baby Dragon after, he plays the Electro Wizard after. But this push is currently working out for NicoLaS of that 2x elixir, but not necessarily is going to die before he even gets a tower hit off.
Yeah.
So I'd still say a slight advantage for BernsteinCat currently. He just throws down the random bar barrel, gets some more pressuring, and the P.E.K.K.A. way back behind that King's Tower, setting up the momentum.
But yeah, like you said, a lot of mirror movements. Maybe we'll get a clone here as well. Nope. Gonna answer with the dragon this time.
Well, there's that Dark Prince on the side of NicoLaS. That's one difference in it. The decks currently. Dark Prince running on through. Gonna lose the shield.
Oh, he's taking a lot of damage there. He might actually get all the way to the tower.
Bar barrel, a lot of defense. Panic time almost for BernsteinCat. It feels like snowball throwing down. And again, certainly not the most tower damage taken, but definitely some pressure from NicoLaS being applied. But again, the style here for either side.
And as you can see, like, both players haven't really leaked any elixir, just playing up to the full, almost when hitting up to 10 elixir, just send out those units. And a bit of mirroring coming here as well. Oh, there's a nice thunderstorm doing a bit of damage as well, but they're still quite stuck on that bridge. They're not, neither side is actually getting forward here. And more units coming in from Bernstein, and he looks like he's going on the offensive this time.
Yeah, Ram Rider certainly getting some pressure, but not really. P.E.K.K.A. tears down the Ram Rider quickly in a couple of auto attacks.
Just like it looks like he might actually get a breach. Yeah. Just gets countered right away.
Yeah, the P.E.K.K.A. certainly a difficult unit to deal with. And again, the Dark Prince behind, but it's going to be stopped quickly. It's just pretty much a cluster at the bridge. Snowball will help somewhat from NicoLaS, and the Baby Dragon is winning its fight currently, but with the P.E.K.K.A. now the Electro Wizard's still up. I assume BernsteinCat is going to hold right here. This is certainly looking like a game.
Oh, he's going for the left side this time.
Left push, yeah. Ram Rider's battling it out, throwing a snowball, wants to get that damage in. It's a pretty quick reaction, though, from NicoLaS to realize that soon enough.
Just 1.5 minutes on the clock remaining, and now it looks like they're shifting both on the left side.
Well, to the point I was just about to make, though, you kind of see that change up there from BernsteinCat to catch him off guard, because I feel like he also feels like that this is a game that potentially could end in a tie. It just doesn't seem like either side has enough firepower, and there's too much of a mirror match going on here to truly break through. So you got to change it up somewhat. Now both sides are committed to the left as I say that.
And now he's stacking up units, still waiting for Bernstein to use that snowball to just keep them pushed away, but I don't think he even needs to here. It just feels like he's evaporating all the units he's encountering. But the last minute now kicks in, and either player just really needs to find that victory here. It possibly could end up in a draw, like you mentioned, because it feels like neither side is actually taking down buildings. The left side tower does take a lot of damage, sitting on 1,500 health now.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see a change up here from NicoLaS, perhaps trying to pressure the right side, but at the same time, if he does that, Bernstein can capitalize with going all out on the left and try to take out the tower first. So you are in that difficult spot of do you go for the risky play, or do you almost accept the fact that this could be a tie here? I think if you're NicoLaS, you're fine with a tie. You know, you're down 1-0. A tie, by the way, means we would just simply act like the game didn't happen, and it would still be 1-0. So for NicoLaS, but you see, try to put pressure on the right-hand side.
He's really trying to make a little breakthrough here by using the left side again, the right side again on the map, but the last 10 seconds kicking in, and it just feels like we're not actually going to get a decisive result.
Yeah, this is going to be a stalemate, so it will remain 1-0, favoring BernsteinCat in that sense still, but again, the good game's coming out, so like I said, it's almost as if that game didn't happen.
True.
As entertaining as it may have been at times. You gotta just forget about it. So it remains 1-0. Still the advantage for BernsteinCat, but I feel like NicoLaS can be happy at least that he's obviously still in it.
Yeah, he held his ground there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure what happened in the first game, but this maybe it was a bit of like warming up to the tournament. But then again, this game was already like he was just doing mirror movements all along.
Well, and speaking of that, at this level of play, again, we have 6 of the best players from the Americas region, 5 different countries represented. When you happen to have decks that are mirroring each other quite a bit, as we saw right there, it's understandable almost that the likelihood of a tie is that much higher. Because, again, they're top-tier players. They know how to react. They know how to play these specific decks. And it's hard to, get the advantage over the other when they're so experienced in that said deck. So
That is like when you've got those same units. I mean, it's not like anything can happen. It's more like this is probably going to happen.
Yeah. Exactly. So we'll see how they change things up here. Again, whether or not both sides may do a little bit of a curveball or one may keep and the other may change. That's what helps make these events very interesting. And we're going into this blind ourselves. There's no pre-made decks necessarily. Yeah. The players are able to switch, and so it's also blind for the players in that sense. They don't know what to expect until the cards start coming out, and then they realize, okay, this is what I'm up against, of course, up to the 10 max that you have right there. But
looks like our next game is about to be ready to start. And we still go Bernstein leading 1-0. That second map did end up in a stalemate, but now, they do have a change in the deck.
Yeah, a bit of a change noticing already. You see the early skeleton play from BernsteinCat being played down. So something tells me perhaps a bit more of an aggressive style deck, but then I see the big flying unit appear, so maybe not as aggressive.
Getting a good amount of damage though. Now on the right side, however, going for a little horde push here and actually trying to get some damage on that tower. Already dealt like 400 or 500 damage up till this point. Kind of struggling to get the defense. And he did horde or mass a couple skeletons there to try and fight against this. The barrel barbarian comes in as well. But then again, it looks like the tides shift a bit here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like either side. Both sides have the lesser cost elixir deck, so we are seeing a bit more aggressive. Again, we aren't seeing the big P.E.K.K.A. coming out, for example, which is a 7 cost elixir. From what I can tell, the most cost so far is the 5. You got the Prince on one side, and then you got the Hog Army on the other. That we're looking at the Royal Hogs, as it's officially called. Still 2 cards, or now 1 more card to be.
That was an interesting lightning storm used there, just to like destroy the first unit that just instantly got spawned on NicoLaS's side. To try and get his own unit on the other side of the map, and instantly gets caught. And there we go. The Royal Hogs are in the play again. Have to go up against the Prince though, but they're just ignoring this, going straight towards the tower, and he needs to get rid of these Hogs because this seems like the strat. Like just push out the Hogs and just try and force out a big elixir unit, and then just try and hold on to the defensive. Then again, a little horde of baby dragons there, or bats even. Going straight against the dragon. He actually holds the defense pretty well. Yeah,
it was a good counterattack there for Bernstein, but yeah, the Prince not necessarily the best defense against those Hogs. He doesn't have any AoE attack. He's all about that single target. And there you get down to 572 life now on the tower with the Dark Prince charging in. Here come the Hogs again. Golem played from BernsteinCat, so he does have that
this could be really decisive here because he cannot hold it against these Hogs, and he's managed to take down the first tower. 40 seconds still remaining, and he's going straight for the base as well with these, and he's just, now what he needs to do is just hold his right side tower, not let get any units through.
You see the Barbarians put down a block the Golem as much as possible, and he knows that it's an advantage for NicoLaS right now.
Oh no, the Thunderstorm.
That clears out. Dark Prince is here to help, but he can't attack air. He can only deal with the ground. Snowball being thrown out. I think this tower may fall, though.
It looks like it will, and it shall. So we're once again in a 1-1 situation. 15 seconds remaining, and now it's either just take down the base or go on the left side tower. Maybe we'll see a shift, like you can see now. They're putting units on the left side because of the longer travel distance from the right side to the straightforward base. So they just want to focus on these towers. We are going to sudden death once again. Another 3 minutes added onto the overtime. A huge brawl takes place.
Yeah, they're really clashing right now. Go figure at the bridge. Seems like slight advantage for BernsteinCat as I say this, though. His unit's definitely sticking around a bit longer. And
he's broken the defense. He's just going, or is he?
Yeah, he's low on elixir right there. The Dark Prince, good job placing it where he did to draw aggro off of the tower somewhat. Can't deal with the Flying Dragon, of course, but he is able to save the tower, which is what matters. And the Royal Hogs put down right in the middle there. 3 of them going to the left, the 1 going to the King's Tower. Will be cleared up, though, but it still seems like Bernstein has the advantage. He's able to get that cluster a little bit more for the aggressive plays.
Both players are still they have the really focused faces right now because they know that Bernstein can win the series with just 1 win here. And he's still, it might be 2 minutes away. It might be even less than 2 minutes away from getting there.
Electro Wizard put down, drawn aggro. The Dark Prince, here comes the Hogs, though. He's had trouble dealing with these so far. Hogs are in. Snowball will help, deal some damage to everyone. Gets a couple of them killed off, and eventually we'll finish. The Snowball from NicoLaS, not necessarily in time to help the most there. So counterattack. Prince, he gets a hit off. That's
so
big.
close. 600 damage with that. And just like that, Bernstein manages to take down the other tower, takes it 2-0.
You can see NicoLaS's reaction as soon as the Prince hit. He threw his hands in the air like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
He basically needed 1 more hit to kill it off. That's the thing with those Princes. If you do not destroy them before they obviously charge up and hit the tower, that's it seemed like 400 or so damage that comes out, and at that point, that was the staple there for BernsteinCat. So he takes it 2-0.
He does, and that was actually, he did have a different type of deck this game, so obviously they are changing decks.
Yeah.
Either